Welcome to Dive Time Dota Fastcasting, the International 2016. We're with our first matchup here, OG versus MVP in the upper bracket of the main event. Best of three here, and I would say OG is the definite favorite. They won 2 of the 3 majors this year and were number 1 in their group.
Absolutely. MVP Phoenix barely getting upper bracket status. They didn't actually win any group stage matchups. They only tied, but they tied almost all of them. So, yeah, OG is definitely the favorite here.
On some level, though, I feel like that's to your disadvantage. Other teams are going to purposely be practicing against you, trying to figure out your draft and whatnot. I feel like that was Secret's big downfall.
Maybe. Interesting.
That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. Disprove me in the comments, please.
So, draft's almost done. OG picks up Batrider, which is pretty standard, and they end up wrapping up with a Timbersaw for their Miracle hero. So we'll see how this works out. I think they're going to be relying a lot on their Jug, because really Jug's their only right-click carry. Meanwhile, MVP has PA as the right-click carry, but then also a Faceless, also a Spirit Breaker, so OG's going to need to channel some magic damage. And speaking of magic damage, Ion Shell on the Bounty Hunter leads to a fight on the 0-minute rune top, and it ends up being a 2-for-1 trade with a free TP back home.
Oh, and it's supposed to be some gold, but this early, there can't be that much.
Yeah, not a lot, not enough.
Ward fights in mid here.
Yep, so it's Batrider off lane solo against the Faceless Void, who's safe lane farming, and we got action on the 2-minute rune top now as the Bounty Hunter with an Ion Shell takes out the Earth Spirit. So that little pocket early game aggression is really working out.
That double bash is going to be really entertaining, I hope. The Faceless and Spirit bashing through. The Iron Shell does not save Darkseer that time.
Yeah, that's a kill going OG's way. 3-2 now. And the Darkseer is going to be doing a lot to slow down the Juggernaut farm. So this might be a good offlane advantage for MVP, because the Batrider seems to be having a lot of trouble versus the Faceless.
Bounty dying at the 4-minute rune there. The OG seems to be taking the runes a little more seriously.
Well, Bounty Hunter's rotated for every rune, I think. So he's really trying to give as much of an early game advantage as possible, trying to make as big of an impact as possible for MVP. And hanging out with Darkseer is going to be a good call, because there you go. Combined, the invisible damage lane takes out a Juggernaut.
Is Iron Shell physical?
Nope, magical.
Jug was spinning. I don't know how I got the damage on him.
It was the Bounty Hunter, like poison, I think.
Yeah, that Orb of Venom is pretty effective early game.
Yeah, they go for it again top, and they don't get it. And then the Bounty Hunter rotates down bot or into mid, and there's a fight breaks out. Miracle cleans up 2 or 3 on the 3 go down for MVP. I think Miracle got 2 of the kills on the Timbersaw.
Or it was Bounty that started it all.
Yeah, but lots of smoke lots of dust on OG. They're gonna try to catch this Bounty Hunter out and not let him get the early game advantage that MVP is designed to get. Speaking of, there's the gank.
Speaking of smoke.
Yeah. So, yeah, the smoke into the dust into the Bounty Hunter kill, and Miracle's in trouble here. 4-man rotation, 3 or 4 gets the Timbersaw in the mid, and MVP has to be happy with how the early game's going. Even though the kills are not going their way, you've got the Bounty Darkseer working. You got PA pretty well unmolested in the mid, and being a part of some of those kills, like on the Timbersaw or whatever. And then I think the Batrider wasn't able to get anything bot, although he does get a kill here. The dive is deep for OG. They go beyond the tier 1 and they get 2, possibly get 3 now. And the response from MVP comes through, and OG loses 3 at various points in this very long fight. But OG eventually backs out.
Both teams got a little of something out of that.
The tier 1 Radiant bot tower has gone down, and OG are still in the neighborhood, and they get 3 more kills for the cost of an Earth Spirit. So Earth Spirit's, yeah, doing his 5 support thing. OG dives the tier 1 tower again. They get the PA. That's a great deal. They'll trade for their own safe lane tier 1, but that's going to be fine. So now OG with 2 towers to MVP's 1.
OG scanned out that smoke there.
Yeah, MVP trying to find some action in the dire jungle, can't. And so OG now, in response to that blown smoke, smokes up themselves and moves around the Roche pit. And here's OG moving into the Radiant jungle. Bat Rider catches a Spirit Breaker, and the Spirit Breaker does go down, but OG loses 3 on a questionable direction of the lasso.
Literally dragging Spirit Breaker into Faceless Void's Chrono. And granted, they didn't know, but that's why you don't drag them up there.
Yeah, very interesting choice to be so aggressive there when OG really had a kill pretty much all locked up. I mean, they were all smoked up. The whole team was there. And Bounty Hunter goes down around the rune, 18-minute rune bot. So OG now, their kill lead is becoming substantial. Their tower lead, not as much, but they still hold it.
Crafts are managing to stay pretty close. MVP isn't letting it get out of hand yet.
Timber in the mid, all MVPs there. They're going to fight this. But OG's team has shown up, and 2 have fallen for MVP, so now they're going to try to run away. But the pursuit is there, a lot of pursuit by OG, and they end up getting 1 more kill on the PA, so excellent engage for OG there. They should probably move into a Roche or a tower, but everyone's back up, so they are back on their side of the map. Another smoke, it looks like. And they're really thinking about Roche. Both teams not venturing too far from Roche. And almost an engage, but not quite. MVP re-smokes up and goes to engage on OG. They end up getting the Earth Spirit, but none of the cores. So Timber will continue to harass. MVP sticking around. Now they're leaving. Now both teams decide they don't actually want to fight around that tower. So we're back to farming, I think.
That's kind of Dota the game. Farm.
Yep. So now OG has 21 kills to MVP's 14, so that's a pretty sizable lead. And they continue to have 1 tower more. MVP smokes into around the Roche pit, and OG's there again. They end up counter-engaging to take a 2-1 trade. And now they'll move into Roche, maybe. It doesn't look like they're going to have the damage, but Timbersaw was standing guard, and he'll end up joining the fight that's in the Roche pit. Huge Darkseer vacuum wall onto a ledge, ends up making OG lose 3, and I assume the Roche as well. Cheeky tower kill by the Darkseer there in the mid, and now towers are even.
It's a solid 2 minutes for Darkseer there.
And so this Roche is at half-life, and everyone's still in the neighborhood. The Timbersaw's still scouting out on the Radiant side of things. MVP jumps in, gets a Cronus. Not sure they caught anyone.
They caught 1, actually.
They did catch 1.
But they killed 3 off of it, so works out.
Yeah.
And a Roche.
A successful Chronos, and they end up able to finish what OG started. MVP picks up the Aegis. I assume it's on the PA.
And Abyssal onto PA, Aegis was on PA, and a Refusal just went to Faceless. MVP just got some of their base items.
Yeah, some key tier 4 items. In comes MVP in the top lane, and they are looking to take a tier 3 and maybe some racks. They got 2, including Miracles, Timbersaw, and that's going to be fine. They're going to take the
top lane objective complete.
Take racks and leave, yeah. Meanwhile, OG has no towers in the top lane of their own, so they're going to have a lot of uphill fighting to do in that lane.
That might be why MVP chose to push that one.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely a good choice. Now it looks like MVP's ready to move into the bot lane. They got the tier 1 at some point. Now a little bit of a dive and then a lasso back behind the tier 2. MVP does get the tower, and the engage comes out. The Chronosphere comes through. So far it's 2-1, 3-1. 3-2 trade. OG has spent a buyback on the Earth Spirit. OG gets 3 out of the defense.
And the Aegis.
Oh, and the Aegis. That's right. They pop the Aegis right
immediately.
away. And they defend their Rex. So OG Happy to defend there, but now their kill lead is down to 1. They're going to make it 2 here with a Bat Rider pop in on a farming Faceless. But the fight is happening. Lots of ion shells. The wall's already down. Miracle's in trouble. Lots of magic damage coming through. We got a Shiva's, but OG's dropping like flies. 4 down, and it's going to be a white.
Was Miracle still in there?
I don't know. The Darkseer was like at half life, so it's not really like you had much to be.
OG's been having great initiations. Bat Rider's doing his job perfectly. They're getting the kill, and then they move as a team, and MVP just crushes them.
Both teams have really had their counter engage on point. They've been in the neighborhood. They feel where the action's going to be, and they're in the neighborhood so that when the fight breaks out, they all can be there, like right here. So I guess that you could call that just conventional 5-manning, but OG's lost 3, lost 4 now, just at the cost of a Spirit Breaker for MVP. So MVP is going to look towards mid, try to get a second lane on Rex, and probably put this game away. It doesn't look like the magic damage strat is going to work. The Juggernaut never really felt threatening outside of maybe even the lane phase.
GG call, 40 minutes.
Yeah, so I think OG had a really solid early game lineup. Like, these are some great supports for the Bat Rider Timbersaw combo. The Juggernaut doesn't really get it done, but I don't think that's his fault so much as the fact that they really had an earlier game lineup versus
would agree with you.
Versus the MVP lineup, which is built more towards the mid game.
It was right after 25 when they just started dominating completely. And I feel like that was right when those base items, Abyssal and Diffusal, came on.
I'm sure it was. So MVP takes game 1, and we'll...
A surprising take, honestly.
Yeah, and we'll see OG try to stay in the upper bracket in game 2 next.
Alright, thanks for watching. Bye-bye!